Hello. Okay, so welcome to Text Tutorial Part 2. Now, some of you may have already seen the old Part 2, but the reason I stopped it or unshared it was because of there was a bug in the code. So 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 this is Text Tutorial E2. So save your episode 1 project as a copy and save it as episode 2. So, in the first tutorial, we were able to do this. All right. Um, but now we're gonna add effects, so we can make our text black. And we're going to call it add effects with a little spacer, and then we're going to name it brightness with a colon, and then an input of brightness, and then a label color colon with an input of color. And without screen refresh. Okay, now we're going to want to create two new variables for this sprite only. One called brightness, and then one called color. And then you're going to want to set brightness and color to the color inputs, or the inputs brightness and color. And if you want to have some new effects, like maybe whirl, I'm pretty sure that's an effect. Whirl. You could also make variables for that. Make sure it's for the sprite only, though. Oh, wait. Didn't make that one up for this sprite only. Oh my god, why did I just delete it? Could just. Oh, and there's the Scratch add-on where you can rename or edit the variable. But yeah, we're going to set the color to the color input. And now we're going to create another block called, let's see, what should we call this block? Let's call it check effects. Run without screen refresh. Okay, and then we're going to place, so the first one is going to be, so in check effects, we are first going to do a set the brightness effect to the brightness variable. It's variable. But then we have to do a forever loop, and then ifs. An if. Okay? And actually, I think I will add the whirl effect. So let me just make another variable, whirl. So the last one had a bug where it could only handle one of the animating effects, which that was a problem. I noticed that, and I kind of quit it for like a month, but now I'm back on this tutorial. And then we will set the whirl variable, whirl, to the whirl variable input. And then, so set brightness is just something where it sets it and then it's like that. But then the whirl effect and the color effect are things that we want to keep animating and we want them to keep changing. So that's why we're going to do, just do a change the effect. So if you had the whirl effect, then you'd change the, first I'm going to do color, change color effect by the color variable, and then we'll change the whirl to the whirl variable. So, and if you have something where like you can't use the effect blocks, and and you have like it preset for a speed, then all you'd have to do is place an if, and then if that variable is set to, and if that variable effect is set to 1, then do this code. Which I'm probably going to have in the next tutorial, because I'll be adding a few. But that's really all we need to do. So then, as clone, we are just going to check effects. So, and now I'm going to make our brightness effect minus 100 for there. But then I am going to, for this one, I'm going to set color effect to 5 and whirl effect to 5. So let's see how this. It's insanely laggy. It must be the check effects. Don't run without screen refresh. Let's try it again. There we go. And then look at that. Swirling. And swirling. And it's also color changing, which in the old second one, it could not do that. So, I hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and I would like to see a ton of effects in the studio. Link is in the description.